This is the TIP Network, where we help you level up through self-improvement with, of course, just a little sprinkle of sarcasm. So, guess what we have today?
What do we have today, Grover?
Reaction video!
A reaction video. And who are we reacting to?
One of the great Manosphere content creators, mediocre.
Y'all already know what time it is. It is time to get active.
I just stepped
and you were commenting on that man's beard, how it was so glistening.
That man's beard is glistening. All right, so I'm watching the video, right? And
we're recording this on Christmas too, so it's more glistening than snow on a Christmas tree.
I'll tell you, he likes Black Santa, Blena. He Blena Claus. But I was sitting here and I'm watching, and I'm like, watch the video, and I'm like, dude, this cat's beard. I can see the conditioning and the moisturizing. I had to go moisturize my beard before I started.
You were pretty jealous.
I was like, hey, I wasn't jealous. I didn't have beard envy. Yes, I did. But what I had to do was I had to go and just put some damn beard oil in.
All right, well.
So
now back to what we're talking about is why I'm moving to Thailand. Western women are a scam. So we have to do a reaction to this because let's just say that through Grover's experiences, he has a different perspective on how MTR was reacting to this video. And to let you guys know, we are MTR fans.
Huge fans. And no disrespect to MTR or the gentleman he's reacting to. The content creator he's reacting to is a great content creator.
Zoom to Thailand?
Zoom to Thailand. Yeah. And I respect the hustle. I respect anybody who, uprooted and went to a different country. I've done it before, right? But this is what I'll say. The city in question is probably not the ideal place to find a relationship.
What city is that?
That's Pattaya or Pattaya, Thailand. It's
okay.
And we're just gonna spin a clip, and then we'll stop it a couple of times and we'll just react. All right?
All right, that we're getting the information from a brother. I'm gonna say this right now. I'm gonna call it before we even get started in the video, because by the end of this video, not only are you going to be interested in getting your passport, but also you might reconsider your citizenship. Without further ado,
FBI.
Okay, so I got to say one thing before we start. If in 2021 you're just getting your passport and you're over 30 years old, you're late. I got my passport when I was like 17.
I got my passport at 30.
And started traveling when I was 18, But besides that, I know he was being sarcastic, but ain't nobody giving up their citizenship to be a Thai citizen. And the people who do say that, they never do it. All right.
You got to pay taxes if you happen to be a U.S. citizen and you're living in another country. Anyway, fun fact.
Only after $95,000. First $95,000 is free.
Without further ado,
FBI. Even though I don't think I'll ever get married again, I have an FBI woman here in Thailand. Let me present the evidence. She's feminine. She's beautiful. And by the way she takes care of me, she inspires me every day.
Look at that, cooking for the man.
I'm not gonna lie, that food is wonderful.
Lets me get my work done. She doesn't nag. She makes me breakfast every morning, and she can fry some chicken.
She making grits too, right?
She making grits and fried chicken. So
is this a normal cuisine of Thailand?
All right, so grits are not a normal cuisine.
Okay.
So I can say that when I lived in Thailand and when I trained in Thailand, it wasn't a normal cuisine to have grits, but there are enough brothers there where grits are prevalent.
How many times have you been in Thailand?
Probably about 30 at this point.
So over a duration of how many years?
From I think the first time I went as an adult was 2001. And
2001.
The first time I went as an adult. I did go a couple of times as a youngster, and then I think last time I was there was 2018. I think 2018 was the last time I was there. So,
about 17 years of
18 years
experience
going there and stayed in a couple of very long stays there. A couple of very long stays, I mean, put it this way, I was there back in the day when you just had to go to Cambodia for the visa run and come back. So I was there.
And how long so they're talking in this particular video about Pattaya, right?
Yeah.
So Pattaya was one of the places that you stayed at?
Pattaya was a place I stayed at, and I visited quite a few times. And the thing is that most people, they go to Thailand, they understand Bangkok and they understand Phuket. Pattaya is by far the #1 tourist destination in Thailand, but it doesn't get that credit because most people, they say they're going to Bangkok because of the nature of Pattaya, and the nature of Pattaya is Disneyland for adults.
Should we continue to watch the video to lead up to that point, or
We'll watch it and then
does it kind of?
we'll watch it.
We'll
now.
lead. Okay.
We'll watch some of it and
All right.
Thais know how to fry.
Chicken looks amazing.
I even taught her how to make grits.
Chicken looks amazing.
She makes me grits in the morning.
He said it like
She
Elvis.
learned
Chicken looks
pancakes.
amazing.
She's a good cook. I mean, whatever I like or whatever makes me happy,
Look, she
that's
got the
what she
leg on
does
the
to
table
keep me
too.
Yeah,
Before
yeah.
right here,
And I do
before
the
she
same
left.
for her.
Yep.
She makes me dinner at night.
Hold up. Brother. Brother, you struck gold.
We
Did
are.
he really struck gold? I mean, is this something that's normal back over in Thailand?
It would be quite common. It would be quite common for yourself to be with. It would be common for yourself to be with a woman who would take care, and you know the attitude to take care of you. That's not. If you're with her, and you're worth a damn, they're gonna go out of their way to take care.
You're worth a damn. What does that mean?
Well, I mean, look, if you're a drunk falling around on the streets every day, and I mean, a scumbag is a scumbag anywhere, right? But if you're somebody who's kind of like together, you take care of yourself. I mean, obviously, looking at this brother, he has a nice apartment that he's staying in. It looks like he's probably renting a 2 or 3 bedroom house. You know, she's staying there. You know, it's gonna be common for the house to be clean and like her cooking for you and stuff like that. That's not what. None of that is in question. Let's watch a little further, and then I'll bring up some of the stuff I question.
I am so intrigued. I want them to start like a relationship vlog. You know what I'm saying? I'm curious. I want to see how this thing matures.
And that's where I want to stop. Because I want to talk about the nature of relationships. And I've seen
Nature of relationships in Thailand.
in Thailand.
In Pattaya specifically.
Pattaya, Southeast Asia. So look, Pattaya is a place where a lot of adult activities happen.
What? Are you speaking in a very cloaked language? Define what adult activity. What could you partake in with adult activity?
Whatever you wanted to.
What is whatever? Is there a lot of?
If you want to, it's very available in Thailand.
Like, okay.
Let's say there's probably about 40 to, I would say easily with no cap, there's about 4,000 to 7,000 places where you could. At any time.
What do you mean 4,000 to 7,000 places?
4,000 to 7,000 places where women are available.
In Pattaya.
In Pattaya itself.
In that one town. How big is this town?
I believe it's about 49 square miles.
In comparison, relative to one of our cities
size
here?
of Oakland, California. Size of San
So
Francisco.
4,000 to 7,000 places where women congregate to provide
spicy services
and adult activities.
Right, and look, I'm gonna be clear. I'm not gonna accuse this person of that.
Of course not. Of course
I'm
not.
not gonna accuse them of that. But I'm just saying that Pattaya is the place to go and find a square girl is misleading.
And I just want to jump in here. Men in the manosphere always like to talk about probability and statistics. You're saying the probability and the statistics would go towards women providing these spicy services for pay.
They most likely hoeing. What are they
We're trying to tiptoe the answer. Here we go, just throwing it out there. We're not saying this person. We're not saying that.
No, I'm not saying
but
this
we're
person.
saying through the probability and statistics.
Yeah,
that's where it goes.
that's because that's what the city is built on. Matter of fact, if you want to know, I know the history of a lot of cities. Like the #1 bar in the city, the first bar ever made was Tahitian Queen 1, and it was a bar where soldiers actually slept on the beach and girls went over there at night to entertain them. The second entertain them. Second bar was Marine Bar, which was down probably, and Tahitian Queen was an army bar. The Marine Bar was obviously a Marine bar. The city's built by the American military that was always stationed in Olongapo. They have Cobra Gold celebration that goes there once a year. Cobra Gold. It's a congregation of it's when the U.S. Army, the U.S. Navy, the Thai Navy, and the U.S. Marines and the Thai Marines do activities together.
Okay.
And so it's called Cobra Gold. It's in Pattaya, right? It's a place built like with most cities that are built around an American military base, which AUDIBLE is a listening station, which my uncle was actually stationed at when I was a kid. That's where when I went there when I was young. not too far away. Okay. With that being said, most things that happen in that city are
With that being said,
most things that happen in that city are built around a certain industry. So I'm not saying that this lady is from that industry. I'm saying that if men want to go to Thailand to meet their FBI lady, you would be much better going to not to a tourist area like Pattaya, a tourist area like Phuket,
adult activity tourist areas like Pattaya or Phuket. That's what you're trying to say.
What I'm saying is that Western travel to Thailand is built off of Pattaya and Phuket,
which is based off of adult activities providing special spicy services.
Exactly.
All right. So out of 10 women in these particular area that's providing these spicy services and adult activities, out of the 10 women, how many out of the 10 would you just guesstimate?
So how many actually provide the services?
Yes, out of 10 women in the city. Like we're talking about ratios and stuff.
7.
So 7 out of 10.
I'd say 70%.
So about 70%.
I would say 70%
of the women there is, and the guys there too.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there's women, there's guys who are there, there's toys or lady boys. There's a lot going on in Pattaya.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I seen them walking along Beach Road, and Beach Road is literally one of the main drags. When they were walking on Beach Road, and that's one of the main drags where
Like lady boys and stuff.
everything's on Beach Road.
Okay.
It's just where they congregate. So it's like, I'm not trying to crap on the video or anything. I'm saying that Thailand, you can have a great lifestyle and you can have it your way. But I'm saying that you would be much better off living in Bangkok, Chiang Mai, Bulelong.
Chiang Mai for sure. Right?
Bulelong, Royet, all of these other cities that I've been to. Chonburi, if you want to be by industry and you have to work. You would be a lot better off in these Hoi Han. All of these cities, you'd be a lot better off that I visited, that you're going to have more of a suburban feel, more of a residential area, and not just, like they said, that Pattaya was a residential area, and I almost fell out of my chair laughing because it's a super duper tourist trap area, right?
So are they selling a dream?
Yeah,
they're selling a dream to Western men?
They're selling a dream to Western men about Pattaya.
Well, why would they sell a dream to Western men?
Because they're just saying, like Pattaya itself, or this video?
This video and then Pattaya.
This video is selling a dream to Western men because they're saying that they're telling men, get your passport and go there. And once they go to Pattaya, they're gonna find that Pattaya is an adult playground full of spicy services. And when you're there, so when you do go there, the women will make you forget that you're paying for anything. And because they will offer you that GFE, that girlfriend experience, to the 8th or 10th level. I swear to God, it was probably invented.
They make you forget. Like
they make you forget.
They treat you so well that they forget.
I've seen men go so far down the rabbit hole that's their girlfriend, and when they leave, they send them money, even though they picked them up out of a bar. They send them money.
How much money are we talking about?
$500, $600, $700 a month, with high hopes that they don't go back to the bar, that they go home. And of course, being there as a length of time that I was there, I would see the same girls, take them into the airport and come back, and then meet their next guy who was coming in, who was also sponsoring them. So I could do a whole video on just sponsorship in Thailand.
Wait, so they gave $500 to $700 a month from one dude.
But
what is that relative to the Thai baht, the Thai currency?
I don't want to say what it's relative to the Thai currency because the currency fluctuates so much.
But let's just say
let's just talk about at the time what that would do for you.
Yeah,
that $700 would do for you if you lived a very meager life in a province where they said they were going to go, or in a village where they said they were going to go. That $700 would take care of you
for
the month.
For the month. And how many guys would they have?
Probably the biggest player in the game I seen, she had 10 guys.
10 guys. Yeah. So that basically, that one set of guys, that 1 month took care of her whole year for most people.
Yeah, there's a documentary called Foreign Husband about Thailand, where you see that girlfriends who had foreign husbands and foreign boyfriends in their hometown, in their village, their parents had the biggest houses in the village, the biggest houses in their hometown, and they had that because they were getting sponsored and they were funneling the money to the family. The biggest thing that I can say about Thailand, because I don't want to keep it too long, is that I want to just encourage all men to, yes, travel, have a good time. Well, part of my keys to success is going to other places. And yes, going to Pattaya and experiencing this Disneyland for adults and saying, wow, and understanding that that's the Matrix and it's not real, you know, that's real. You're that's a blue pill situation there, because that's not reality. The reality under the surface that it's all about money. Then stepping out of that and going to other places in Thailand and meeting people who don't do that and who are totally different. And that's where you'll meet that genuine feminine, inspirational lady, you know, that feminine, beautiful, inspirational lady who's going to take care of you the way you want to. And there's plenty of women who will do that, and if that's what you're looking for, and if you're looking to, I mean, I know folks who move, like the normal migration is that you move to Bangkok, you spend a little time in Pattaya, you wild out, and then you go to like Chiang Mai or Bulilan or some place like that, and then you
wild
go
out with your schlong out type of
deals. You hang out with the wing out, and then you go
rock
to
out with the
you're going there.
Sorry.
And then you go to the village, and or a city that's like really a really like city that's not a tourist area, where a Thai city, and you learn to speak Thai and you live there, and that's what people do. You know, I mean, but I'm telling you, it's so.
But in relation to Pattaya, you would say, from the video that Zoom to Thailand did, Pattaya is known for other things, and even in Thailand,
in Thailand, Pattaya is known for a destination for one thing. Period.
That one thing.
Period.
We're going to be very obscure with the language, but we're leading on. We know you're intelligent enough to know.
And by the way, anybody can challenge me about that and about my knowledge of Thailand, because I can draw a map of the damn city. Anybody could challenge me about.
You're pointing out locations on the video when you're showing. Yeah,
anybody could challenge me about my knowledge of Thailand. That's okay. I mean, this is no cap. I'm saying that and I'm not saying that this gentleman is wrong and that this gentleman doesn't have this woman who's a straight girl, but in Pattaya, that's a unicorn. That's a unicorn in Pattaya.
So 0.01%.
And I can tell you, when I was looking at her, I was like, I believe she's from Isan because of her height and how she walked. And like I was telling you, she walked like she was walking through rice paddies, and I know people are going to say that that's racist, but that's a thing.
I mean,
I'm
Southeast Asian, right? So
that's a thing. That's a thing. She was walking. She was walking duck footed. She wasn't right. That was one thing. And also, I could tell that I was saying that, you know, she's in her 30s. She doesn't have any tattoos. That's another very. That's a good sign. When she doesn't have tattoos, that she's not in that nightlife and in that bar life.
And that she's older too, right?
Yeah. She also doesn't look like she has a lot of kids. And so that's good.
I mean, her form looks.
Yeah.
She's
good.
Yeah.
When Thais have kids in generalities, they get stretch marks. Really, they get stretch marks really bad because they're just tiny people and they get big with the kids. It's not. It doesn't mean that it's a bad thing.
Stretch marks are wonderful.
Yeah. Like I mean, I like stretch marks, but it doesn't mean it's a bad thing. It just means that that's what happens, right? And so, you know, she may be somebody who just went there or who was just working there. There are tons of girls who work in hotels and this that, but even some of the girls that.
When you're saying 7 out of 10, that's 70% through probabilities. You're leaning towards of that 70% occurring more often than 30%.
Far more
were to occur.
Oh yeah.
And I think you're actually even being.
I'm being very generous.
Very generous.
I'm being very generous. I've seen.
And you know the house always takes the money.
I've seen. Yeah. And I'm not even going to talk about the college girls who go there every weekend just to make extra money. I'm being generous. I know the game quite well.
Like that Miranda girl. Come
here,
bro. She's came from college or whatever.
And look, and I'm not saying anything bad about nothing. I'm not saying nothing bad about the industry that goes on there. Hey, I'm not saying that. I know a lot of great people in Pattaya. I mean, and give shouts out to them. A lot of great. Hey, I know 40 people who own bars. And when I say bars, I'm talking about go-go bars. I know a guy who owns an Alcazar bar. I know a guy who.
I think eventually when we get to the Patreon, Grover will explain all the happenings in Thailand.
I'll break it down in the Patreon. But
you also led a group over in Thailand. You're a business there too, right?
I had a group, and I also have a travel group of friends who we went all over the country. So, you know, some of them still go back there. I haven't been there for quite some time because quite honestly, it's after you go someplace for 20-something years, you just want to go other places. But you know, shout out to this guy. Shout out to MTR, always a great content creator. Shout out to Zoom to Thailand.
Know what time is it? It is
Zoom to Thailand.
Time to get active. Literally active adult activities.
They get active in Pattaya, trust me. But also like Zoom to Thailand, like very positive, brother. I've watched some of his content. He had Brumman from the Fifth Floor from Martin as a interview. I think that he's a music producer. I respect the gentleman. I know he did a versus Philippines versus Thailand, the people Philippines versus Thailand. And he was quite on the money about what he was saying about the differences and the dynamics between the people and personality. I mean, because we said Thailand's the land of smiles, but the Philippines, it has the friendliest people. Like, people in the Philippines will stop what they're doing and help you get somewhere. I mean, it's pretty cool. And Thai people are nice, but, you know, Thai people, you are Falong, you are not Thai. You know, and so you have to realize that there are some different rules for you than for the Thais there, and that's just the way it is.
Some of the things I got to say is I am half Asian, I'm half Vietnamese, Southeast Asian, so relatively close to Thailand.
The lead attorney thinks you're black.
So, coming from a perspective from the Southeast Asian perspective, I hear from the Western dudes, right? It's like you're having rose-colored glasses on. You're looking at this from a naive perspective, an ethnocentric perspective, meaning that the way that the Southeast Asian people think is totally different from the way you think. So you see her providing all these services where she's cooking for the dude, she's treating him well, but she also has an end game in mind. It's not a bad thing, but the value is for the Southeast Asian side is to make sure that their family is taken care of. And you're going to be used as a means to take care of those ends, and your needs will also be met. But don't ever forget that you're also going to be used for your resources and your time. Mm-hmm. Don't ever forget that. Do not be naive, because if you are too naive, you will be taken advantage of. Guarantee you. My mother has even told me that I don't even understand some of the Southeast Asian ways, that we think quite differently from each other. And she always tells me, you don't understand my people. You don't understand my country. You know a little bit, but you don't understand enough. And I'm half Asian. My first language was Vietnamese. So I'm telling you right now, just slow your roll. Like, don't get caught up with these girls and start becoming that red pill turning into that blue pill, because you're going to be in for a rude awakening when you get one of these girls. Like you said, right? The first analogy I said, sometimes girls will play this emotional checker games on you, and we're out here trying to play chess. I'm like, oh, well, maybe these like Thai girls are playing chess. And Grover said, no, they're not really playing chess. What are they playing?
Sabak.
What is Sabak?
Sabak is that game that they played on Star Wars where the monster comes out of nowhere and clubs him over the head, back in the head. I mean, and also, like, something you said was so important about taking care of the families. You will never, no matter what you do, you will never be more important than that family unit. You will never be the
absolutely
head.
Correct.
You will never be the head of that household.
And you'll not be one of the peoples either.
You're not going to be part of the family. What you'll be is somebody who's beholden to the mother or the father's whims. And there will be, I mean, besides the dowry that you're going to pay when you get married.
Which is in total reverse, right?
Yeah, it's in reverse what it was, right? Besides the dowry you're going to pay when you get married. Just the absolute drain on finances that I've seen a large number of men who've gone down that road. And when I say a large number, I mean 95% of the men have had a drain on finances. And like one thing that I always
95%
of the men who's married, I know at least 25, 30 men who's married Thai women.
Because I'll have to back those claims up.
And
I will have to back those claims up.
95% have had a drain on their finances, and it always starts small, $100, $200, and it goes all
Robert Cialdini, influence and persuasion.
Goes all the way up to, I've seen, I'll use my personal experience. I was asked to buy a motor scooter before.
But it led up to that, right?
Oh, like, yeah, it started.
Did you know that's actually a Ben Franklin? And then, like I said, the book Robert Cialdini, Influence and Persuasion, is because they ask for small favors, and then they lead up to the big ones.
It was small favors, and then all of a sudden, you know, I'm in a relationship with a Thai boxer. You know, for all means that I think, you know, this person's straight, it's a square girl. And I sit there and I'm like, one day she's like, yeah, my brother needs a motorbike. And I was,
it's not even her
brother needs a motorbike. And I was like, then I think your brother should go get a motorbike. She's like, well, can you buy
a motorbike?
A motorbike. I can get a really good deal. And we broke up. It was just that simple.
So were there any smaller favors that led up to that big favor?
Oh, there was a lot of stuff. Just buying some clothes here for the family. Oh, the family.
You gotta say those things. Though.
Right,
you're buying clothes for the family, and then
for the family. Every time we go up there now and then, and then there was a hot water heater
Water heater, okay.
And it was a few $100s.
What about groceries? People getting stranded.
There was always tires, or the tire. We're just gonna send Western Union $100 because tire blew out. Some tires blew out. We need some tires. There's always just this little
nickel and dime
stuff. So I'm and no one's immune from it. And to me, I was just being a good dude. And I was a lot younger, and then I just started realizing, hey, it's time to take a step back and take off the rose-colored glasses, and that's just that culture, right? So I'm just saying, you just want to be careful that when you're getting involved in a family. I mean, one of the biggest things that I remember my friend told me, a great friend of mine, and he owned a hotel called The Getaway, and we would go there. It was a really nice boutique hotel, and he would be like, he'd look at me and he had the look on his face and he was just sad. And I was like, why are you sad? And he's like, I got to go to the village to see Mom. And I was like, why are you sad? You're seeing your family. He's like, man, every time I go up there, it costs me a bunch of money. And he came back and he looked sadder. He was like, it cost him a bunch of money. And that's just...
but somehow he didn't recognize those were the signs that he should break away.
Now, am I saying 100%? No. I'm saying not. That. No. I'm saying that in a lot of experience I've given is anecdotal.
But at the same time, it's to be for the men to be vigilant.
But Pattaya is the only place that I'll say this. It's the only place where I believe in this generality. Like a lot of times I'll see like, no. I'm not going to say this in general, but Pattaya is one of those places where I would err on the side of the generality.
Are you a betting man?
If I would bet, I mean, you can't throw a rock without hitting a hooker in Pattaya. So, I mean, it is what it is.
Pebble or what size of rock is it?
Man, you could
pebble size?
Man,
like a boulder.
Man, you could throw
shaped out bowling ball.
You could throw a 9-pound bowling ball and you hit one of them.
Or just roll it and knock them out like pins.
Knock them out. Just pins. It just be
strike.
Be nothing but high heels and purses all over the damn place, man. All right, look. I'm gonna end this now before I go any further. But this will be something I will be broaching all of my travels on a Patreon. My travels to Southeast Asia, to Japan, Mongolia, which you were with that one.
Yeah, I was in Mongolia.
France, Africa, Brazil, Costa Rica. God, I've been around. Mexico, and Puerto Rico. All the stories and all the amazing times I had there. Time when I was a traveling musician to France, and I was in my 20s, and we went to France and played music and had a quite adventurous time, if I would say. But anyway, that's going to be on our Patreon. I want to just give a special thanks to everybody who's been rocking with us. I just want to thank a couple of people right quick. Nixon Talks, one of the first people who we connected with in just this YouTube space as a content creator. Excellent content creator out of Australia. Grind and motivate.
Helping out back. Why didn't you give Nixon Talks that kind of emphasis? That's kind of mean.
Because I talked about Nixon. We did a whole thing.
I know, we always do Nixon Talks.
Grind and motivate is the first time we reach out, but grind and motivate, man.
Honestly, the grind and motivate, why is there so much emphasis? Because you didn't have to do that, and you did. You put shouted our channel out on a community post, and we got some traction, and we thank you for that.
Yeah, man.
And Nixon Talks have been on the live stream, like you said.
On a live stream, shouted out Scott's editing. Scott is a monster with editing, but just in general, just bouncing ideas back and forth. I mean, I look forward to collaborating with both of you gentlemen. Shout out to Nicovelli. We just watched the reaction we did. The man with the perfect beard. We just watched the reaction we did. Again, rewatched it because we don't really watch our content. And I was dying laughing with the big girl shakes it for the clout. Nicovelli, just thank you very much. Everybody who basically communicates with us and sub to us and showed us love. A special shout out to the lead attorney for just telling people, like, we're so close to the big magic 1,000 mark, and he was like, go over there and sub right now. All you folks are doing that. It means the world to us. I'm really proud and humbled to be a part of this community. Thank you very much. We rock with you. The TIP Network rocks with you, and we will continue to make the best content we can, and we will have Scott on an editing slave ship because he will be working his ass off. Scott, can I come out? No, edit.
Man, wait till we start live streaming. Then
man.
let's hopefully won't struggle stream.
Yeah, struggle streaming. Already.
Struggle streaming.
So as always, you can follow me on Instagram at IamGorilla1. You can follow this guy at
ScottT. And then also remember to like and subscribe. Leave a comment down below.
Hit the notification twice, 3 times, 4 times. Just hit it until you make sure you get notified.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Make sure you get notified. And you can follow us on social network at the Tip Network.
Close together. Together, THPP. Wait, 2 P's. Network. You'll see the graphics right here. And also, the last thing I got to say is, what is the question of the day?
The question of the day, have you traveled to Thailand and do you agree with what I said about Pattaya?
That's a compounded question, but we'll put that in there.
All right. Yeah, whatever. Whatever.
All right, so anything else? Do we have to thank anyone else?
No, I just got
Not have to, but we would love to. Thank you to all the subscribers that you guys have just onboarded and watching our channel. Honestly, this has been a quiet 3 years, and we've enjoyed every minute of it. But we're enjoying a lot more that people are watching now. That's now a whole 17 people watching.
I remember when we hit 17 subscribers, and I was like, 17 subscribers. It's only been 7 months. Jesus Christ. Okay, so thank you very much for rocking with us, and ask yourself one burning question.
I'm gonna hold back. You ask. Can you handle the tip?
Booty in your face. There we go.
Peace out. All right, no venereal disease today.
Yeah. It burns when I pee.
Slaughter every sound. My sound, slaughter every sound.